Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Slimy Green Garage. I'm your host for today, Mighty Mark, and today is a special day. It is the 4th of July, 2022, and so God bless America and God bless all of you who are watching this channel who know that we live in the greatest country on the planet, despite some of the yoo-hoos that are, I suppose you could say they're running the show, but they ain't doing a real good job of it upstairs. Well, you go back to that last election, folks, and after that, we started that whole Build Back Better plan. Well, as part of that Build Back Better plan, we wanted to totally wipe out your 401ks. We wanted to, you know what, cause food shortages, all sorts of shortages. And you know, as part of that, jacking up the gas prices, well, that's coming out of your pocket too. And so, for all of you who are thinking outside the box, and a lot of you are, we've got here a 2022 Honda Monkey 9 horsepower. I'm not gonna give you the boring walk around, only because there's plenty of videos out there that have already done that. This motorbike, so awesome by the way, based off the early 70s Hondas that they built back in the day, 9 horsepower, and I can tell you already, I've got about 55 miles on this bike. I have hit 66 miles per hour downhill grade with a 70-mile-an-hour wind at my back. And so, while it lacks a little bit on the performance side, it does have a 5-speed manual transmission, 5th gear, rarely used because there's not enough in the bike to get you through that gear properly. So, today we are going to add a Yoshimura Stage 3 exhaust. Pretty awesome looking, if I might say so myself. I'll let you guys be the judge. But without a lot more talking, I want to say God bless you, God bless America, and God bless our peacekeepers, our military, our veterans. Thank you for all that you've done, allowing us to be here, to live in the greatest country on the planet. It's time to get to work. So as you can see here, my friends, this is already a beautifully put together bike. The stock exhaust actually looks pretty nice in my opinion. And if you own a Monkey or you're familiar with them, it actually sounds like you're driving one of the Jetson mobiles. Everywhere you go. And I actually like the fact that you can kind of just pretty much go anywhere undetected. However, there is something to be said for having a little bit louder pipes because, as so many would say, loud pipes save lives. And so we're going to put this exhaust on there, and you know what? If we don't like it, well, it doesn't have to be permanent. But I just got this thing down here, so we're still a little warm on the exhaust, but it's time to get to work. So let's go ahead and get this thing unbolted, and then we'll kind of show you this Stage 3 exhaust system that we got. Get this thing put on, take it out for a test spin. Well, step one, I want to remove the seat because there's a mount behind the muffler here that secures it, and I think for easier access, we just need to get the seat off of there. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, it is a Allen 6mm. Of course it had to be metric, but that's Honda for it. And just makes sense, I guess. Anyway, there's one on each side. I'm going to get those removed, get the seat out of the way. That was easy enough. Other side. All right, our 2 bolts have been removed. Now, I know they make some quick release kits for these seats. Honestly, I don't know. Doesn't seem like a big deal to me, but you apply gentle pressure between the tank and the seat, push it back, pulls right out. Get you up close here. You'll see the rear catch comes over our rear frame bar there. Obviously, our holes where the bolts go through. Piece of cake. Okay, well now that we got the seat off, I can definitely see the nut that is securing the muffler on the back side. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can remove this metal shroud. Got our Allen wrench ready. I'm going to remove this set screw. I believe it's the only screw that actually holds that chrome plate on, and I believe this just pushes back. Also just has catches on the back side that press into those two areas. Obviously the bolt that secures it. We're going to go ahead and just put this bolt right back in place so we don't lose it. We're going to set that aside, and again, we're going to take care of all our old equipment as we may want to reuse it. Now we need to get a socket. We can remove that. We're going to start off trying a 12. Just throwing it out there. Will we be right? Will we be wrong? I already see we got one on the bottom, one on the top. It is a 12. Loosen that up. And first not to take special notes or pictures as you're tearing things apart. That way when you put them back together, it's obviously a bolt, a washer right off the bat. There's a washer on the back side of this rubber grommet back here. Just noting that to self. Get number 2 here. Before I take number 2 all the way out, I'm going to go ahead and go down to the cylinder side. They're also 12 millimeter. 2 of them down here. Studs that go into the head. Nuts that come off the bottom. There we go. Come on now. Okay. So we should be disconnected at the head. Finish removing this guy right here. Same thing. Bolt with the washer. I'll be curious if these other washers fall off or they just stay kind of stuck. At this point, there must be something else. Yep, one more little bracket holds that on. And remove our extension. And if you can, support the exhaust with one hand. Spin out this one last bolt. Set it aside and carefully should be able to maneuver our entire factory exhaust off the machine. Set it over here on some cardboard as it's not fired up. Against all codes of man, well, this is where we're going to look at instructions and just take a glimpse at what steps we need to take moving forward. All right, looking at my instructions here, and step 1, don't be an idiot. Well, shoot! Now what are we gonna do? It's not like this is rocket science. Pipe. Oh, by the way, pretty cool. Yoshimura. Can you see that? You look closely, they actually got a little monkey on that cover. Just like it was made for this unit. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just fit that up in there. Was there even a seal or something up in there? It makes me curious. I don't know. It'll be fine. That's how easy that one starts. Oh, that was way better. Yeah. One of these exhaust nuts, as it was coming off, it didn't get easy until close to the end, and I'm going to guess that either the threads need cleaned up or it wasn't perfect to begin with. So I'm not going to over tighten these, but I'm going to just kind of gently snug them. You can see there's still going to be some wiggle room in there, and that's probably going to be important for fitment. And I'm probably going to need a 12 millimeter end wrench to work with this new pipe. So, looking beyond that, we've got a bracket here. And we've, again, refrained from any and all instructions, we just don't like them. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, oh my, look at that. Looks like it would work there. I got this bag of bolts even, so I think we're gonna just dump that out. 2 light bolts. Kind of makes sense that those might be the ones that we use over here. Wonder if they're 12 millimeter as well. Would it be great if they just made a kit like this, so easy to put on that your average, ordinary, everyday fool, you know, complete this installation as well? Would it be perfect? Perfect. All right. We've got a bracket. I'm going to slip this over the header pipe. At this point, I'm going to widen the gap on my bracket here. I'm going to kind of slide it into place. Washer. Nut goes through the washer. Through the hole, we got a washer. And then a lock nut. Got tiny hands or are ambidextrous, that will be beneficial to you. At this point in time, wrong size. Well, let's see if I can get that started anyway. Yeah. Piece of cake. Instead of using the right tool, I was just trying to say, we're just going to use the wrong one. If it'll fit in there. All it has to do is hold that enough for me to be able to crank this thing down. Then we got this little, can you read that? Can you decipher that for me? It's a spring. It's just meant to keep tension between the exhaust pipe and the header pipe. Give you this handy little tool so you don't have to beat yourself up. And with any luck, you can easily stretch that in place. Our mount bolts are tight, clamp bolt is tight. We still need to tighten up our header pipe nuts. And this is going to be where I'm probably going to have to search for them tools I was telling you about, because this new pipe does not allow clearance for a socket. But we're going to try it. It's so close. I don't want to beat up on the thing, you know, because there's nothing wrong with having a super nice install. Everything's just so. In all things in reverse, just like if at first. That kind of made sense, right? So we push this back, which means to go back on, it needs to be in the back position. Pushes forward. And if everything's lined up, we will put these 2 bolts back in. Get you some of that. Will it start? That's got a little more aggressive tone to it, doesn't it, kids? 57 miles, by the way, on this unit. We got our stage 3 Yoshimura exhaust put on there. You know what? I heard complaints. Some people thought this exhaust was too loud, and my initial reaction without taking it out and driving it, it doesn't sound too loud to me. So I'm happy with the install. We're going to go out and take it for a test spin. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's okay too. But I appreciate you being along for the ride. God bless America. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, I tell you what, just an update for you, my Slimy Green fam. Took her out for a test spin. I don't think it's too loud. Some people have complained that they think the exhaust is too loud, and I'll tell you what, when you're just putting through the neighborhoods or you have her geared down and you're not revving into it, it's still pretty quiet. So you can still sneak around if you need to, but when you open up that throttle and it puts you back in this little monkey seat, you can hear all 9 horsepower and a brand new top end speed on that downhill grade, today with no wind at my back, we hit 68 miles per hour. So I'm thinking if we get a good stiff 100-mile-an-hour breeze behind me, I might hit 70. Kind of excited about the possibilities. So we still have not put our new intake on, but what we are going to do here pretty soon is go ahead and put our monkey rack on the back. Overall, I'm happy with the overall sound of the bike now. And this exhaust, it looks awesome. So, you know, if you're going to go below 500 bucks on something, is it worth it for looks? Yeah, that's up to you. Anyway, I thought I'd give you an update. Back at the shop. See you guys real soon.